Okay, what the hell happened yesterday? Tigers dropped the series to the Twins. The Twins who sold off 11 players at the deadline and didn't have Byron Buxton. The Tigers have now lost back-to-back series out of the deadline, and they've lost 6 of the last 7 series. John, this team used to rattle off 2 of every 3, sweep teams, decapitate people. Now a division lead that was once 15 and a half games is down to 6. So we will ask the question, is it panic in Tiger Town? I don't think I'm allowed to panic.
No.
As a man who buried the Guardians and views this division race as over. Look, I'm not going to sweat until we get to September. The next couple weeks are tailor-made for the Tigers to stave off any of this pressure and keep the Guardians at bay.
Are we in staving season?
I hate that we would even be there, but John, we may be there.
I'm not panicking either because they did have that 15 and a half game lead. I know it's only 6 now, but I don't think the team was as good as we saw in the first half of the season. I don't think they're this bad either. I think they are what we predicted they would be at the beginning of the season. I think you said 82 wins.
And you said 80.
I said 80, so right around 500. I think they'll play a little bit above 500 the rest of the way.
Which would get them to about 90 wins.
90-ish wins, and they do end up winning the division.
Right, and they got 6 with the Guardians in September and Bregman at the end of the year, and there's certainly the possibility for some real sweat, right? There's a possibility for a choke. I mean, that's what it would be. But I'm not there yet. If you guys are, 248-539-9797. There's plenty to be disappointed in with this baseball team. I mean, to the point where when they get in the playoffs, I don't expect them to make much of a run at all. But I still expect them to be in the playoffs as the AL Central Division winner.
Yeah, and I mean, it's ironic right now that we're looking at the end of the season and the 6 games that they have. There's a 6-game lead. Even if they split the difference on all the other ones, I don't think they lose all 6 games to the Guardians.
No, which is why, hey, get to September with an 8-game lead, a 9-game lead, and take your chances with about 30 games to go. The next 10, they face the Angels, the White Sox, and a chance to do it right against the Twins. These are all teams below 500. The Tigers in the next 10 games need to go out and do what they're supposed to do. Win 7 of the 10, keep a nice cushion, win this division. And it doesn't mean, again, what does that mean? They didn't blow a 15-game lead. It doesn't mean they're going to do anything once they make the postseason, but they should get in. I think the frustrations are, John, it's like collectively. AJ comes on yesterday, and he has a little more urgency in his voice, and then the team doesn't match it. The bullpen's been bad for 2 months plus, and we know there's no more reinforcements coming. They've made their bed. They got to lie in it. Starting pitching, super inconsistent. Paddock one day, Paddock the next day. Flaherty one day, Flaherty the next day. And the lineup has a cavernous hole in it with Riley Green, who even after an off day went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts.
With 3 strikeouts, yeah.
And look, when your best hitter's in a coma, when Javi Baez is back to swinging in the other batter's box, when he's come back down to earth, when you haven't gotten a boost from Veerling, a significant one, when Meadows hasn't given you a significant boost, there's more than enough reasons to be concerned. But Cleveland still has a minus run differential. Cleveland is still a flawed baseball team in their own right.
But it is a long season, and there's going to be highs, there's going to be lows. Just like, and I wasn't ready to jump on and bury the Guardians. I know I wasn't here for that opportunity. I wouldn't have done it if they were here, if I was here. But like you said, hey, the division is over. You planted your flag.
Yeah.
And I respect that. And I do think that they still win the division. But I wasn't overreacting then. I'm not going to overreact now. It's a long season. You add them all up at the end and you see where you're at. And I do think that they end up with a better record than the Guardians, the Royals, and anybody else in this division.
You tell me it's under 3 in September, I'll start to sweat.
Well, yeah, if it's under 3 in September and they've got 6 against the Guardians, if they split the difference, now they play other games. I get that.
But just so I'm fair, I'm not going to do this head in the sand, la, 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 everything will be okay. I'm understanding what's going on right now. This lead is shrinking fast. They still have a lead until it gets under 3 in September. I'm not going to start sweating. I'm not going to look like you did the first day of training camp.
Lions training camp. 95 degrees, 100% humidity.
A pool of Sweat. Not there unless we get under 3 in September. That's where I'll draw my line in the sand. I don't know where yours is, John, because you're not panicking today either.
No, and I think over the next 10 games, it's going to be very telling of what this team is because of the opponents. Now, I know it's coming off losing a series to the Twins, who sold everything at the deadline, but this is also a team right now with 10 games. In the next 10 games, they play a sub 500 team in the Angels, a very bad team in the Chicago White Sox, and they've got 4 more against the Twins. And I know that the Twins, they came out swinging, right? And literally, they came out swinging against the starting pitching. But you got 4. I don't think the Twins are the team that we saw the last 3 the last 3 games, but I also don't believe that the Tigers are that bad either.
248-539-9797. Panic in Tiger Town. Let us know your level of concern for the division.
So what do they need to be over the next 10 games?
Let's say 7-3. I mean, these are bad baseball teams. Yeah, 7-3. That probably means you've picked up a game or 2 on Cleveland, and now we're talking about 7-8 games.
Yeah, because Cleveland has typically been a 500 team. So if you go 7-3 and they follow suit, then yeah, you're going to pick up 2 games.
Again, September, they're going to face both New York teams, Cleveland twice, Boston, suddenly relevant Miami. September's a different story. This is why I need them to get these wins now, knowing choppy waters are ahead.
So let's see what the Cleveland has.
I know the White Sox this weekend, and who else? It's a soft August for them,
Miami
too.
And Atlanta.
Okay.
So I'll give them 9 games and 1 game against Arizona.
We'll call it 500 for them, give or take. You got to go 7-3. Put any angst to the side. Wake up. Get that message from AJ about, hey guys, we're sprinting to the finish now. I mean, it's like he's the Iditarod. Like he's got the dogs. Let's go. And they don't want to run yet. They're not sprinting to the finish.
So if they finish 500 the rest of the way, that'd be 23-23.
Yeah,
they would win 89 games, and I think we all thought they would win 90. I think that's maybe one of the more shocking things. They put that in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Right now with the way they're playing.
You know what they've done is they've put any hopes of a 1 and 2 seed in jeopardy playing this way.
Yeah, without a doubt. They've given up, 119 runs in the last 22 games. To me, this is all, you need your pitching no matter what. You can go through hitting slumps, and Riley Greens needs to stop right now because it's gone on too long. But you always need your backbone, and it's a Leland thing. He always said you're as good as your starting pitching. Since Reese Olson went out and Mize didn't pitch all that great the other night, he hasn't been great since the All-Star game, really. They need somebody to stand up and be the 2. And to me, it's Casey Mize. You need your starting pitching to give you a chance later in the game because that's what the Twins jumped on them. All 3 games, the game the Tigers won, they jumped on them.
Yeah.
Tex says the lead will be gone before Labor Day. That would be devastating.
Well, and more to your point, Gov, about the Twins jumping on the starting pitching, because the bats are acting the way they are right now, this isn't a team that is built to come from behind late in games.
Good point.
Unless it's a 2-0 game going into the 7th, right? They're just not built to come back from 4 or 5 runs. So you have to have a good start to these games. That was the recipe early.
And then if you're close in a game late, you got the Tommy Kahnle problem right now, which
can't trust him.
He was awesome. He was overperforming earlier in the year, but he was crucial in getting you first to 30, 40, and 50 wins. I mean, I looked it up last year. What was the Twins' peak record before their free fall? They were 70-53. They finished 82-80.
The Tigers' peak was 25 over 500. Even higher peak. This Tiger team is better than last year's Twins team.
I mean, I'll go to the 90 wins. I think if they get to 90 wins, they're safe.
Which is, a game over 500 the rest of the way?
Yeah.
We're not asking for anything Herculean here.
But, it needs to stop. It is.
I'm just saying, if we come in on Monday and they took 2 or 3 against the Angels, which is the likely outcome, Scooble's on the bump Friday night, they should take 2 or 3 against the Angels. Is everybody going to take a deep breath? If they sweep the White Sox next week. You know what I'm saying? These are the likely outcomes. Even as bad as this team has played, there have been a 500 team the last 60 games. 30-30 the last 60 games. Well, that would suggest they're going to go about 500 the rest of the way, and they'll beat some of the bad teams, and they'll get in.
The problem, though, now is because this has been so horrific, 7-16, that, the Tigers win 2 or 3. I agree, most likely outcome. Usually the most likely in any series in baseball. But what if the Guardians sweep the White Sox?
And they lost ground anyway.
And so now, because the lead has gotten to a point where if the Guardians just gradually shave games, you're making those games at the end of the year way more
stressful
than
and
they
important.
ever should have been.
Speaking of the Cleveland perspective, I texted a host on our Cleveland station last night. I just said, hey, what's the vibe with your baseball team? I'll let you know what he said coming up next. We'll also get your phone calls, your ticket text, your panic meter. It's 97.1.